Well, listen, fucking, what's this guy's name again?
Wabba
Wabba Dooby. That's a fucking huge business mistake.
Hey, Foster.
Hey, Wyatt.
Hey, welcome to Game Cereal, where once a week we dip our toes into the bottom of the steam bowl and see what kind of games we can fish out. Is it soggy or crunchy? Is it sweet or salty? Or did they just forget the milk? Well, we're going to find out. It's going to be all at the cost of a box of cereal. Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing really well. And I had a bit planned, but before that, I'm going to do a first bit. And it's that I was thinking, while you were reading that we should add sound effects while that's happening. So, you say soggy, and I go, and you say crunch, you go, and I don't know what sound sweet makes, or salty, or milk, but I'm really just hooked on the soggy and crunchy. I think I could really add something there.
Well, I have a couple sound effects I put in post.
Well, yeah, but those aren't original, so.
Yeah, you're right. I didn't make them with my mouth. So
you didn't even ask me if I could try, which is
no, and that's my fault on that one.
Yeah.
I will say though, outside of Fantasy Critic, I am excited for Kirby Air Riders because I loved the one on the like GameCube or whatever it was on as a kid. It's like it wasn't even like a racing game. It was like it's like literally you're just riding around like a city on different Kirby vehicles. It was like stars or like bikes or whatever with like your friends, and you'd all just ride around the city. They're like little power-ups you could pick up and hit each other with. I'm sure there was an actual game to it, but like 8-year-old me was just mobbing around Kirby City, going through volcanoes or whatever. I think it was called like Kirby by Sakurai.
I played this, which hey, that guy knows how to make games.
It was something for sure.
He really made Smash Bros. And Nintendo was like, okay, we'll finally like uncuff you from this.
You can make the fucking weird that weird pink blob. Get back to him.
He looked them straight in the eyes and said, "I want to do Kirby Air Riders too."
Yeah.
And I'm sure they were just like face in palms, being like, "Why that one?"
He went,
No
give me
anymore.
1% of the money you made from Smash Bros. And let me make a game.
I know, please. Just begging. Poor guy. Just living his dream. Actually, he's not a poor guy. He's I'm sure, very fulfilled man, making some of the best video games on the planet.
Yeah, rich as hell, probably super hot. Probably has like a super hot girlfriend.
He's smoking. Wouldn't be surprised. We could segue.
Nah. What else happened? I watched a couple movies.
FlyKnight. There we go. You just cut when I say FlyKnight. It's done.
I talked over it. Couldn't even hear it. I cut it. I'm cutting it out. That never happened.
Never happened. You talked over it. That's crazy. No.
Yeah. Watched a couple movies.
No. I thought you said you were gonna cut out your shit.
No, I'm sorry. Cut out FlyKnight.
Oh, good. Yeah, we don't need to talk about the game we're talking about.
Anyway, yeah, FlyKnight.
Oh my god.
Wow. What a game.
There's one thing we're consistently good at. It's being terrible at segues.
It's on purpose though. FlyKnight. Explore, fight, loot, and fish, solo or co-op mode in this old-school first-person dungeon crawler. Earn your knighthood as you oppose the evil witch Luna Moth and stop her curse, which prevents everyone from growing wings. Published and developed by Wabba Boy. Released January 31st, 2025.
And I don't think I'm over-exaggerating when I say this is the best Souls-like not by From Software. Since Lies of P came out a couple years ago.
I wouldn't even call it a Souls-like though. There's no like, you're not like dodge rolling.
Souls-like. I would call it a.
There are Souls elements for sure.
It's I was watching some reviews.
It's like a Souls.
Watched a video today. Okay. Yes, it is like a Souls. It's some people were calling it a Kingfield like, which is like the first person dungeon crawler
Okay,
that
yeah.
FromSoft made, which I guess is more accurate because that's like more the style of gameplay. But so many of the items from FlyKnight are just straight up like ripped out of, like you can tell they're just like ripped from soft games.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of a Souls like, you know. You die, there's bonfires. Okay.
There are the bonfires are very Souls like. I guess I was just thinking the combat itself is nothing like a Souls game.
I guess so. I associate though less like the combat with Souls games and more like the dungeon level design bonfire.
I think
but I do
the
hear what you're
vibe,
saying.
the kind of way the story works and bonfires are Souls like, but there's no like, there's no lost progression if you die. You just respawn and walk back to your spot.
Do you want to start with? Oh, go ahead.
Well, first I'll start. You beat the game, I'm assuming.
Oh yeah, very short game.
I also beat the game. I also recruited Hunter, and we played through the whole game together.
Hell yeah! Wow.
So
no invite.
We played. Well, by the time I looked at the game, I saw you had already beat it.
Yeah, I beat it the first day.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, and then I was like, wait a minute, it's like what, like $4 or some shit. It was super cheap.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'll just see if Hunter wants to play it since it's co-op, and so we ran through. His name was like Gilgaroth or something. It'll be on the screen.
Nice.
And I was like Bling Blong the Fly, something like that. That'll also be there. And yeah, we played it in like 3 sessions, I'd say. Like hour or so each, hour and a half each.
Yeah. This is good. The people are gonna get the co-op review and the solo review.
Yeah.
All in one. Well, I guess top level thoughts.
I liked it. We had a good time. It was a surprisingly like wide game, like the levels. I felt like, or at least they had the illusion of being wide. Like I felt like every time I went to a new part of the level, I was like, oh, there's like 8 different paths, but really it's just one path that loops around through everything before it spits you back out to where you want to go.
Yeah.
Which is pretty nice because I didn't feel like I really missed anything for like most of it. I think I got like probably every item. I probably missed a couple here and there, like an armor set or something. But yeah, gameplay was fun. It was fun. They give you a good like stream of weapons so you don't get bored of what you're using. Like you can constantly switch up. Not really your build because like you're just gonna be swinging whatever weapon you're using. But if you wanted to, you could go for like the weird magic build. They give you the option to, I guess. But no, it's fun getting all the new stuff. The enemies were cool, and the story was interesting, and it was fun just fucking around as a little fly.
Oh yeah, it was. I feel very similar. It was a great game. I said earlier, it was like this is the best like Souls like I played in a while. I think a lot of that comes down to the writing and like the vibes of the world. There's just something. It somehow captured that FromSoft essence of not like only having a couple characters that you find that are interesting and they speak in kind of weird cryptic ways, and it comes together just enough. Like it doesn't like over explain what's happening. It comes together just enough to be very cinematic in certain moments in a way that I really, really fucking like. And the gameplay was, like you said, it was simple but satisfying. And you're right, the constant stream of weapons was perfect because like you would never get bored of one because you would get a new one and you'd be like, this looks cool. And there's no stat requirements. Like it's not bogged down by like, fuck, I gotta get my dex up. Oh, I gotta go restat. Like you don't have to worry about that. You can just get a cool new set of stuff and like equip it, which is great for a game this short. Like it doesn't need to be doing that kind of shit. So it just kind of flowed like from one weapon to the next, from one area to the next, and on level design too. Like you're right. Like it felt so wide. Like I remember going into the swamp area.
Yeah.
And I was like, this place looks fucking huge.
Well, I guess technically I did play about an hour with Lauren because Hunter went to pick up his friend from the airport. So Lauren hopped on and that was like the entire swamp level we ran through. So I kind of got the whole.
Did you get lost though?
No, it's kind of like I feel like how the levels worked for me at least was like for the first like minute maybe I'm kind of lost, but I feel like once you find the bonfire and you know that's the way to go, you turn back and you go explore everything else that you miss. That's how I did it at least. Like
That's
on
similar
that
to how
swamp level.
I think I was more I see yeah I could feel I was getting close to a bonfire and I turn around,
Mm-hmm.
but you somehow still always ended up like at the like where you need to go, I guess. And you know I hate walking in games, and this is a game where you walk very slowly, so it could have been very bad for
Yeah.
me. Like right when you start in the tutorial area, and I was like, "Holy fuck!" Like I feel like I'm like walking through quicksand.
Yeah.
I was very worried, but because the way the levels are designed, and like there's kind of like loot around a lot, like every corner, like there's chests kind of everywhere,
Mm.
and the like I said before, like the items are interesting enough and you never truly are lost. Like you're always like able to loop back in an interesting way that it just didn't I didn't get fatigued. It
Yeah.
was so nice. I was so pleasantly surprised by that because I think that's a thing that like is just not easy to get right. And it's shows that like good level design doesn't have to be like overly complicated or even like complicated at all.
Yeah.
Right? It just has to be like good and like well thunked.
Yeah. And I felt rewarded if I like thought I might know a little secret area to get somewhere, and then sure enough, there is a little secret area there and a little secret loot for a couple enemies guarding like two chests that have completely unrelated gear but are still fun to pick up. Be like a whole mushroom outfit and then like a big ass hammer, and I'm like, all right, awesome. I guess I'll rock with these for now.
Yeah.
Cool.
It was cool that the enemies also had drop rates, which was very FromSoft of them. Like you could have like farmed certain enemies and probably got their like whole kit if you tried long enough.
Yeah, I got like most of the final like the weird zombies. I got like most of their rhino gear except for the chest plate, I think. All from just them dropping it.
I got the samurai kit too.
Yeah, Hunter was collecting the samurai kit for a good bit of it, but I think we only got like the sword and like the greaves and the pants maybe. I might have got the full thing except like the helmet, to be honest.
Yeah. And it's I mean they're not like super forgiving drop rates.
Mm-mm.
You have to give it your best shot.
Yeah. How do you feel about the enemies?
I thought they were really good. I mean, it's a short game, which is I think to this game's benefit, whereas like it didn't have a ton of enemy variety, right? But
Yeah.
they were interesting enough, and they each had their kind of own way to attack them, which I is due to the way the combat works, where you can break limbs and different limbs and different shell pieces, because everything's insectoid in this game, are susceptible to different kinds of damage, right? So like crush, slash, pierce, magic, or whatever. And so it was fun to kind of figure out through trial and error throughout the game, like, oh, I should hit this guy in the arms, I should hit this guy in the legs.
Yeah.
I need to get behind this guy, hit him on the back with a crushing blow. And that was like just enough, like brain, like you to think just enough for it to be fun.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it a con for sure, but I think I would have liked a couple more enemies, or at least like I it because they had like a couple plant enemies which were cool, like cool like variety, and they had like one bug enemy, and then every other enemy was just like stand up humanoid that's exactly your size. But it would have been cool to have like maybe some really big enemy or something, or like
they had that giant penis.
Excuse me?
They had the giant hog.
Is that one of the bosses? Am I forgetting?
Yeah, it was the first big boss. It's just the big old penis hanging from the ceiling.
Oh yeah, yeah, the lotus fly eater. You mean?
Yes, my bad.
The giant carnivorous
How could
plant.
I possibly mistake that? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. They'd have that dude. But I mean, like a big ass, like they got like rhino armor. Give me a big ass rhino that's like charging or something, you know?
Yeah.
But I definitely don't think it was a con. I think the enemies were fun to fight. And they were fun to fight co-op too. It felt really good to like absolutely bully the shit out of an enemy that like that the samurai wasp. Like when we fought him in the first section, we thought he was like a like a mini boss, but this just like turns into a regular enemy later on. Then also later on, we're like countering every single hit and just bashing his brains in when he's on the floor. So, you know.
Yeah, the benefit of co-op there for sure.
Yeah, I don't
Those
know if
guys
they
were still
I don't know if
giving
they
me a
like
headache.
buffed. I assume they buffed enemies' health because it says like recommended for 3 players co-op when you open it co-op. So I'm guessing they like up the health of enemies or their damage or something to even it out.
Makes sense.
Because otherwise it would just be insanely easy.
Yeah, you just stomp everyone.
Yeah.
Man, I really want to talk about the fucking story and like the one hype moment that was just so fucking cool to me. You're FlyKnight, fucking moth lady. What's her name?
Luna Moth.
Luna Moth has like stolen your wings and like all the wings of these animals, and the fucking fly mercenaries all got murdered. Like all the FlyKnights got killed. And, like you survive, and your commander's like, you should go back and just save who you can. It's over here. And the fucking like head wasp guys like, you flies disgust me. You're so weak. And it's like it's that FromSoft storytelling of like people just existing in this world and not like there's no like story exposition really.
Mm-hmm.
And then the fucking you get to that moment later on where you walk in, it's a boss fight, and this is a spoiler, but you know what? Hey, listen, just go play the game, come back, finish this video. But that moment where you fight the fly commander, you walk in on him, and he's got these huge blue moth wings, and you realize he made a deal with Luna Moth to like turn against the flies, and that's why he was like sending people back. And there was like dead flies around him in different levels. I was like, it was just that perfect moment that it's like simple, but like they set it up so well to when I saw it, I was like, fuck, dude, this is sick. Like it's just so cool and cinematic for how like chunky this game is.
Yeah. Yeah.
I fucking loved it.
I thought the story was cool. I thought it was fun. I liked all the characters that you talked to in the around the bonfire, basically. Including that fuck ass wasp that
Guy was a bitch. And he tries to kill you.
yeah, he does at the end. He's like,
up.
isn't he like, fuck you, I want to kill the moth, you're not gonna be able to do it?
Yeah,
Yeah, and
basically.
then whooped his ass. He was a fighter though. I remember that because it was like I think I crushed his head in one hit with like the hammer weapon I had at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And then like we took off his arms like pretty soon after, and he was just walking around kicking us. God, what a loser. Oh, she's still going.
My God.
He's just kicking. Like he was fighting to the end. It was cracking me up. It's like the Monty Python.
He's a warrior.
Yeah.
It really is, yeah. He's but a flesh wound.
Yep. But I thought it was so funny.
What weapon did you end up going with? What was your mainstay?
I went I pivoted probably between like 4 weapons in the last like second half. I don't remember what I chose at the start at all. I think just whatever weapon I got, I picked up. But at the end, I kept the lance and the shield in my inventory just in case I needed to like shield arrows because those fucking archers were so annoying.
They were really fucking annoying.
And then I had a big hammer. It was like the siege hammer, I think it was called. It wasn't the wooden mallet, and it wasn't like the big ass super slow mace. It was like pretty fast and still did a shitload of damage. It was just one big overhead swing hammer. And then I used the like 2 wasp blades, like the dual wielded ones.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That like you get towards the end. At least that's when I got them. In like a chest or something.
Were a drop from the wasp guy.
Oh, maybe I don't know, but I was
because I had like 2 sets of them by the end.
It wasn't like the single blade, but it was like one in each hand. I remember it pretty good. I thought it looked cool, so I used it at the end. I think that's my other thing. I was like at the end, I was like, I'm just gonna look through for what weapons I think will look the coolest because like they all. It's not gonna matter that much gameplay wise. When I was fighting the final boss, I just ate 5 fish and then ran on in.
Would Would you believe, and I'm sure you will because you know me, that I never fished in this game, and I must have missed where I picked up the fishing rod. Like I must have walked past in like the tutorial area.
It's yeah,
or
it's
something,
it's
'cause I
literally at the
never had it.
tutorial. Yeah.
Yeah, I walked right past it, and the whole game I was like, "When are they gonna give me a fishing rod? I keep
Yep.
seeing fish everywhere."
I guess you just never you just don't get to do that. Yeah, they just
Fucking
gave you like
dummy.
I mean, it was a really short fishing mini game. A little bugged in two player because the fish will go in between you and your friends
Uh,
hooks instead of like going just to go for one. So it would kind of fuck it up if there's like one fish and you guys are both trying to get it. But
mhm.
they just are like they're all based off of like foods, like fruit. So there's like watermelon fish and like cornfish and stuff or whatever. Uh,
My
and
favorite fruit is corn.
is corn, yeah. And then they just give you like extra stamina regen or like weapon speed, defense, like prevent knockback, stuff like that.
Once again, just another example of me playing a game on hard mode for no reason
Yeah.
other than my
Well,
lack of intelligence.
to be fair, we never used them until like I think we used them on the second boss because we had a couple, and then we used them on
Mhm.
the moth at the end. But they didn't do all that much. They were cool. I wanted to use all the mechanics and everything, so
Mhm.
yeah. And it was a nice little break from fighting, just going in and fishing for like 2 minutes and then heading back out. Did you ever get like any new bows besides the one that drops?
No, I only got one new bow
Yeah,
the whole
because they
game.
had stuff to make like an archery build. Like they had rings that were like extra damage and like chance to not use ammo or whatever, and you could put like all the ranger
Mhm.
gear on, but like the arrows did like 9 damage for a headshot. So it was like, what
Yeah.
is the point of even trying to use
Not
this
very
shitty ass
good.
bow? Yeah.
Plus, like bow combat, it's not like it's fun in this
No.
kind of game. So it's more just like picking off like a bow guy from far away if you
Yeah.
can.
But even then, like I
Which
said, it
yeah,
was
is a
so
nice thing.
tedious because it would take like 5 hits with my hammer that does 40 damage a hit to kill a bow guy. So it would have
Mhm.
taken like fucking like 30 arrows into the body of an archer to kill him. So it's like
I
I'm
did it
not
every once in a while though.
I know, but I was like especially towards the end, I was like, I don't want to do that. So we would just sprint and jump at him and whoop his ass
Yeah, that'll do
instead.
it. Yeah, I didn't really think about that, but the bow combat definitely was lacking, and so is the. Can you hear my cats going
I
crazy?
heard a cat there for a second,
They
yeah.
keep. Yeah, the bow combat was boring, and honestly, like the magic, most of the spells were pretty useless, other than that one that shoots vines from the ground
I like the
that did
tornado
a
one.
shit ton of damage. I did not get the tornado
Oh
one.
yeah, there's one that summons a tornado. I got one that
Ooh,
summons spiders for me. Like you can summon
I
little
got that one
spiders.
too.
That
They
one
didn't really
sucked.
do anything though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one sucked. Those
Um,
spiders sucked ass.
and we both used Hunter and I both used the one that was uh like rot. Like you shoot it and it like infects on someone. It's like locust or something. And it does like
Ooh,
tick damage, and then when they die, the tick damage moves on to a different enemy and starts doing tick
cool.
damage to them.
I must have missed it.
I must have not
I
explored like we did.
I really didn't. I mean, I explored, but then every once in a while, like I'd like kind of I'd ditch or I'd pass up some of the crossroads in the beginning of a level and be like, oh, I'll come back to this, and I'd get all the way to the end of the level where it's like clearly the next area, and I was just like, I don't really feel like walking back. Like I can, it's just gonna be another spell or sword or something that I don't really need.
I see. That's what I live for, though, because it
Ah,
could have been the best sword next up, the coolest looking one.
I I had my big bonk hammer. I
Yeah,
think I was using that big old mace that just did an insane amount of damage, but it was super slow.
yeah. I used that one, and then I found the one that was like a bit faster than it and still did a buttload of damage, and I used that one towards the end or through the end because I
The
love just crushing
fucking
heads.
it's so satisfying just bonking them around their head explodes
Yeah,
and they wander around. Yeah, it feels good. The other weapon that was super good was the like dragon halberd that you get from
yep,
the second boss. That
yep.
thing was cracked. That was really good.
Um, I like the kick mechanic as well. The whole parry and kick mechanic was a lot of fun.
The stamina management was it was once again just like that one extra layer on top of the pretty simple gameplay that made it like just enough to manage, but was never overwhelming.
Yeah, but it was definitely challenging if you're like, you want to swing as many times as possible and you get them knocked down and they get up and you're like, oh, I got no stamina. I got to do a really slow block and kick now to counter.
Yeah. It was well balanced, I think.
Yeah.
A little heavy on the stamina usage for some stuff, but that's what happens in a game where you can't level up your stamina at all.
Yeah.
So,
well, you could eat a fish that
punished.
improves your stamina regen.
okay, well, listen, I don't even know what a fish is.
Yeah. Maybe a ring did it too. I forget what rings I had at the end. I know Hunter and I both had one at the start. I think when you do co-op, it gives you one that's like you are immune to friendly fire, but we took that off pretty quick for like cooler ones.
Oh, yeah, that's boring.
Yeah. And I
Friendly
felt
fire's the
the
best part
pain
of
of
co-op.
Hunter swinging through the side of my head. He kicked me into the river on accident with our last session when you're in that like moat. We were trying to kick one of the zombies in, and he just sent my ass in there. Ah!
Oh!
You've murdered me, brother.
Talk about cool. We're talking a lot on this one, but talk about cool level design on that moat level where you go down and back to get upstairs to like open the moat, and then you go across, and then you open like the water flow, and then you take a boat down to then fight a boss. That's where you fight the wasp guy down there. And I thought that was like, I was like, what a cool use of the space, I guess. Like,
Yeah.
the level progression was just so intelligent because you play so many games. Like I was playing First Berserker Kazan that just came out. I was playing the demo, and like it's a Souls-like, but just the way the levels are designed are so boring because like they don't loop back on each other in any fun ways. Like you just like walk in a circle, I guess, in some levels, or you just walk down very clearly, like, I don't know, dev mapped out paths. You know the kind I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Where it's like, this is obviously the way to go, and this is obviously a side pathway that if I walk down, I'll either just have to walk back, or it'll just loop back to a door that's like 20 feet in front of where I went down this crossroads.
In some games I like that, because some games that don't let you go back, because most Souls like let you go back to areas you've been at previously. But if it's like, I like those side routes in a game where it's like there's a lot of points of no return. Like in like a God of War, I like knowing when I go down this side path, I'm not gonna get locked into a cutscene and not be able to get whatever shit I want over here on this side, stuff like that. But definitely in a Souls like if it was like in FlyKnight, you don't know where the fuck you are. Most of the time. Just kind of wandering
through dark hallways.
Yeah,
for sure. What a great sense of wandering, though.
Yeah.
Like I enjoy wandering, but I hate walking. You know.
Yeah. You start crawling or running, maybe. Jumping,
No, I'll
skipping.
wander. Don't mind me. I could get into a skip, but if I'm gonna skip, I might as well frolic.
You can frolic if you want.
Not in FlyKnight.
No, not in FlyKnight. You
Walking in
can't.
fucking molasses.
You go slow as molasses. You can sprint though, and you can jump.
Guy's got his shoes tied together.
You can jump attack and bash heads in. I jumped off something and
Yeah,
bashed
you
someone's
can.
head in a couple times, which was pretty fun.
Hell yeah, you can. Feels so good.
But yeah,
Such a silly little
we
game.
enjoy. I tried to get Hunter in. He's at work right now. I was like, if you want to just hop on out of nowhere to review it, since you played it, the whole damn thing. But he's working.
A shame.
I know.
You get a recording. You can drop him at the end.
Yeah, I'll let him put I'll give him 30-second timer to say his thoughts, and I'll put it in. Okay. Important question, Hunter.
Yeah, what's up?
I need your abridged 60-second review of FlyKnight, including a number.
Okay. FlyKnight was a truly transcendent experience of diving back into RuneScape-esque tip combat while at the same time maintaining the Dark Soulsy aspect of exploration and punishment during said combat. I'd probably give it a 7 out of 10. It could use some more story, but what it did have was really fun.
That's all he gets. He gets to give his score, and then I'll kick him out. Yeah, though, I really liked it.
I
I
really
wish
liked it too.
I wish it was longer. I wish there was more.
That was my one thing, and it definitely feels like because it's his first game. Like if you watch the credits, it's like just him and like some friends that like
Mhm.
helped him out. He thanked his girlfriend. He thanked his cat. He thanked developers that put up like tutorial videos on YouTube. So like this is his like first thing. It feels at least
Yeah.
like early on in his game dev career. But like it feels like this he's gonna make either a FlyKnight. He's gonna take this and just do a big ass update to it.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end, it alludes to going to the fucking moon to fight like the outer, like the
The
elder
moon,
gods or
the
whatever
moon,
the
or
fuck they
the
call it.
moth queen or whatever, the moth god.
Yeah, it sounds sick. So like the insect, yeah. So like they kept alluding to that, and then it just ends when you kill the moth lady, which I was just like, that was the worst part of the game was finding out that there was no more game left. It was so
Yeah.
sad.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to go to the fucking moon and fight bugs on the moon.
Well, I noticed the .exe, like when I hover over it on my like taskbar when I open the game, was called FlyKnight Prologue.
There you go.
Oh wait, here. There was a news posted February 4th called "The Future of FlyKnight."
Ooh.
He said he's sad to announce that we'll make a sequel someday. We're not going to start on it right now.
What?
But that doesn't mean FlyKnight is done. New Game Plus and a randomizer mode are coming. New Game Plus won't just be another run of the game with stronger enemies. Level design will be different with changed enemy placement, new enemy types, and fewer surprises. If you're really hardcore, you'll be able to jump into it without completing the base game, so you'll start in your undies. And the randomizer mode will have settings for enemies, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. They said for the sequel, which is hypothetical right now, you can expect a longer and much more complex game. Several ways to level up and upgrade your fly, interconnected Metroidvania-like level design, many new characters, friendly and not, and a much bigger glimpse into the lore of this world.
Okay.
All of
that's
this,
a
of course,
start.
will take much more than an afternoon to beat, and you'll be able to bring your pals along. That's a given. Hey, so in like 2 years when FlyKnight 2 comes out, me and Hunter can dust
Jump
off
back
the old
in.
knights, yeah, dust off the armor.
I'm surprised he said it's like he's not gonna be working on it. I wonder if he faced like super bad burnout or something.
I think he said they're working on
'Cause-
other projects right now.
Gotcha.
So it's probably a bit of like spent X long on this game, and now is like I want to make something else.
Well, listen, fucking what's this guy's name again?
Wabba-dabba-doobie.
Wabba-dabba-doobie. That's a fucking huge business mistake. FlyKnight is selling crazy well for an indie game, and you should fucking make more FlyKnight right now and not do whatever the fuck else you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm ready to give this knight some
Some
scores. Yeah, some fly, make it fly.
Give this knight some fly, Wyatt.
I'm gonna give FlyKnight 8.5
Wow.
mods out of 10 mods.
Wow. Eight
Yeah.
and a half.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun playing it. Like I there was not a time I was bored. Like I just wanted to play more when it
Mhm.
ended. I like that was like my biggest thing when we were getting towards the end. I was like, I can tell I'm getting towards the end, and that makes me sad because I just wanted to keep playing it.
The sign of a good game.
I know it was also fun,
Amazing.
a lot of fun in co-op, which I'm sure I still would have liked it solo, but I think just fucking around with the enemies and
Mhm.
every time because like. In solo, you put on armor, you can kind of see yourself in the top left, but like every time Hunter and I would get new gear, we're like, yo, check it out.
Yeah, a little more of a fashion show.
Yeah.
I get it. I'm not a co-op guy though. I was very happy playing this game solo.
Yeah.
So happy, in fact, that I would give this 8.5 ceiling penises out of 10.
Wow.
Yeah. Find a fucking JPEG of that.
It's gonna be like blurred.
Yeah.
I'll put the thing from the game in, but just blur it.
I feel very similarly. It's just a good ass game. The worst part of this game was when it ended and there was no more
Mhm.
game to play. It just did what it did, you know, and it did
Agreed.
it well. And this guy that made this Gabagooby, He understands level design, I think, at like an intuitive level. I think some people just got the stuff, and like he just got the stuff on this.
You just got the stuff.
Got the fucking stuff, man. You gotta respect it.
Sometimes
With
that's
an
all it's
8.5
about, yeah.
Penises out of 10 penises.
I don't like to say
Ceiling
penis,
penises.
you know?
Penis.
Oh, man. It doesn't roll off the tongue.
Penis.
Well, I believe
Well,
it's my game.
It
I'd-
is time.
I spent about 30 minutes today going through
I thought you said
Steam.
$30.
And I've avoided. I added some to my wish list, but I am putting a self-imposed restriction on myself for this week to not choose a roguelike.
Roguelikes? Yes,
um,
thank God.
But I'd like to rant.
Notice
rant.
how you haven't played. Notice how you haven't played a roguelike in a little bit, and we've been playing good games. You feel
We
that?
just gave the last game like a 3, didn't we?
Last game was not a roguelike.
Oh wait, no, not the last
Digging
game.
holes.
Sorry, my brain's fried from editing. I forget
Yeah.
which games we've actually played and which games.
We've played Everhood, and then the Digging a Hole game, and then this, which have been 3 very fun games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'd like to rant. Every fucking game on Steam is either a roguelike or it's a porn game or it's like a tech demo or a horror game, like a walking simulator horror game, and that is it. There are no other games on Steam that exist.
That can't be right.
Every game is either you get number or you
Get
parkour.
number. You click on screen.
You click on screen and get number, or you move on screen and get dopamine.
Mm.
Speaking of click on screen and get number, if I didn't choose it, I would have chose Nubby's number simulator for our game this week. But I've already put or Nubby's number factory. I've already put 30. Well, no, I don't think I've actually put 36 hours. I think I let it on overnight, but I probably put like 6 hours in it.
Jesus.
I don't know if you've heard about that game.
I don't know what that game is. I don't want to know what it is.
It's
You
like
don't need to tell me what it is.
they just condensed like it's like Balatro if it was like a little pachinko machine or playing with like Peggle. It's like Peggle and Balatro had a baby.
Wow, that actually does sound like fun. I
Yeah,
gotta
it's
say,
it's really
that
really
sounds
good.
great.
It's awesome, and it's made in like a 2000s like vaporwave aesthetic. It's awesome. I've been playing it a lot, but it was only like $8, so I would have chose it if I didn't already play it, and if I wasn't putting the no roguelike restriction
You
on
could have
myself.
just lied.
Yeah, but it's also I think
Man
pretty
of honor.
popular already. It's got 4,000 overwhelmingly positive reviews at this point, and it came out
Goddamn.
like a month ago. My other two were a horror game or a different game, and I'm gonna go for the different one because I feel like we do a lot of horror.
Okay. We do.
Because they make a lot of horror games. They just do.
I feel like it's just like movies where horror things are just like for some reason cheap to make.
Yeah.
No fucking way. No way. Why? This was the next one I was gonna pick.
No, I've ruined your pick. I saw it. This is like the last game I saw before I
That's
stopped
so
looking.
funny. This has been on my wish list for months.
Do you wanna say it? What the game is?
Yeah. Arctic eggs. Eggs. Perfection in 2 parts. The simple whites. So true. The whites are so simple. The sublime yolk. Each the lesser without its partner. Chorus and verse. A symphony of flavor. The catchy tune reminding us of warm baths and late night movies. The elevator music to whatever lies beyond.
Mm-hmm.
3,000 overwhelmingly positive reviews.
Yeah. And it came out. Oh, it came out a year ago. I thought that was May 16th of this year for a second. I'm like, wait a minute, it's not even out. Yeah.
The amount of images of just bullets with eggs in a pan, a
Yeah,
cigarette in a pan with eggs.
I didn't even watch the trailer. I just looked at a couple of the frames and I was like, yeah, fuck it.
I'm so happy you picked this.
Yeah.
Wow. Arctic eggs. This is going to be
Arctic
a
eggs.
great time. It reminds me of Paratropic. Which
Oh, it's by the-
people should play.
It's by the same publisher that did mouthwashing. I don't know if you heard about that game.
Mouthwashing is also on my list.
I haven't played
Not
it, but
for
I've heard
game
good things
cereal,
about
'cause
it.
it's
I mean, that one's got
like $12.
25,000 overwhelmingly positive reviews. So,
Yeah, hell yeah. This person's on the upward trajectory.
oh, look at that.
Critical Reflex. Oh, that's
Anyway.
the publisher.
That's what I was saying. It's
Anyway.
the same publisher. I don't know about the developer. but-
I hope everyone enjoyed our review of Flynight. It was kind of rambly this week, but you guys don't come here for.
I feel like when we
for
actually like a
content,
game, that's how it turns out.
But I think both of us wholeheartedly think people should buy this game. I definitely do.
Yeah.
Play with your friends. Play it solo. Either way, it's a fucking great time. Miyazaki, you should fucking hire Wabadabadooba.
Give him $1 billion.
Get him on the FromSoft team. Give him $1 billion. Let him direct Elden Ring too. Please please subscribe, and please come back in a couple weeks probably and watch Arctic Eggs. Our
And hey,
review of Arctic Eggs.
More on the topic. Fuck moths, dude.
Yeah, they
fucking
be
hate
fucking
moths.
stealing wings, assholes.
They eat your clothes and like get dust everywhere.
Big and gross and big.
Yeah, I hate 'em.
Fucking the worst.